And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So, however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered in multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Saturday, folks, and we will finally, folks, and this time it is 100% certain, 100% true, we will get into our NFL final thoughts of what we just saw the entire year. Just quick little, hey, let's just make sure that we're not getting revisionist history in this long 7-month-long off-season process where everyone's, going to be talking this and that, and oh, this team actually was good. You just didn't get into the specific deep down dark web stats that nobody ever talks about. We don't want to get confused heading into next season with everyone trying to be like, no, my team was actually good. No, most of the teams were not good this year, okay? So let's all relax and actually see it for what it was. So that's what we're going to be doing today on the show. NFL final thoughts for the AFC East. We're going over Bills, Jets, Dolphins, and the Patriots, giving our final thoughts. Few stories just very, very quickly to touch it on in the NFL as well. We'll touch on those. And as always, covering the NBA from last night. So that's what we've got on the show. Let's kick it off right now, shall we? So let's start with the NBA, then we will shift gears to the NFL. But let's start with the NBA from last night. And pretty good night of NBA. I mean, we just updated our power rankings, and already we need to do maybe a little shifting come next Friday. But yeah, we had our sponsors playing the New York Knicks, and they lost in classic Knicks fashion. The Pelicans got it done. Cannot wait to talk about them. Do not sleep on the Pelicans, folks. How many times do we got to tell you all that? And then we also saw the 76ers win, and win in their classic fashion over the last couple of days. So we'll talk all through that. So let's start here with the first game up, Pacers at the Pistons, and the Pacers losing in classic Pacer fashion, folks. We may have to switch gears for our sponsorship from the Knicks to the Pacers, folks, really. I mean, this Pacers team is the same old team, competitive all throughout, and then beef it in the fourth quarter. Pistons finish on a 12-1 run to end up winning by 5, 111-106 last night for the Pistons. Let's start here first. Cade Cunningham, 20 points, 9 rebounds, only 3 assists, and he took 20 shots, shot 40%, but hey, enough to get it done. Jeremy Grant, only 8 points on 28% shooting, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Jeremy Grant not being that offensive score that we really want him to be here, letting us down, but Saddiq Bey picked up some of the slack here, 25 points on 6 of 8 from the 3, absolutely love it. And then coming off the bench, Marvin Bagley getting it done, 18 points, 8 rebounds in only 21 minutes, absolutely. Everything else just a little bit lackluster. Isaiah Stewart, he only had 8 points, but he did have 13 rebounds, so we will absolutely take that as well. But enough to get it done for the Pistons, especially facing the Pacers team. You don't need to go above and beyond to beat this team. So the Pacers coming up short, but Tyrese Halliburton only 8 points. So once again, we're going to need him to be the main scorer on this team. Him only taking 8 shots last night. It's like, yeah, we need you to be commanding the ball. You're the superstar here. You're the main guy now. This is kind of Tyrese Halliburton's new team. You're the face of the franchise a little bit right now. So 8 points. He did have 7 assists and 8 rebounds. We'll give him credit for that, but only taking 8 shots when Buddy Hield's taking 20, Malcolm Brogdon's taking 23. We get, who else was taking shots? Isaiah Jackson, the big, and we love the bigs. We're not trying to stop the bigs from shooting, but when the big is taking 10 shots and Tyrese Halliburton's only taking 8, and when somebody's coming off the bench and taking 12 shots, and Dwayne Washington also taking 12 shots, I mean, we need Tyrese Halliburton to just be aggressive, be ball commanding, be ball dominant, please. Who else is going to be scoring on this team? You're taking away points from Buddy Hield. The man shoots up like 15 threes a game and doesn't always have the best percentage like we just saw last night, 1 of 10 from the 3. So command the ball, Tyrese Halliburton, please. More. Damn. So only 8 points last night for Tyrese Halliburton. We had Malcolm Brogdon leading the team in scoring with 26 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Buddy Hield only 16 points on 20 shots. And then, like we said, Isaiah Jackson, he had 12 points, 10 rebounds. Pretty solid there. Off the bench, some solid productions by Dwayne Washington, 16 points, and also Jalen Smith with 12 points and 11 rebounds. But losing the game at the end of the fourth quarter, not being able to close it out, Tyrese Halliburton not being aggressive, not being ball dominant, these are going to be the same results that we see every single game by the Pacers. And this is going back before Tyrese Halliburton even got here. It's the same old team. Be ball dominant or you're just going to be like Sabonis, a big name, a big superstar that has good stats but don't win games. Take command, Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, the Kings just threw you to the garbage when you were kind of their face of the franchise guy. You and De'Aaron Fox were kind of the main guys on that Kings team. They threw you away. So what do you got to lose? You're obviously not gaining anything here. You're going from irrelevant franchise to irrelevant franchise, losing games and once again continuing to be irrelevant. So what do you have to lose, Tyrese Halliburton? I want you taking the 20 shots. I want you taking the 10 to 15 threes a game. You command the ball. You command on this team. Please. We need to start to see some sort of turnaround for the Pacers. I'm not even like a Pacers fan. I'm not buying Pacers merchandise, Pacers jerseys every single week. And I'm frustrated with this Pacers team just talking about them on a daily basis. Can we see something different? Because after, when I go to prep for the show, and I know that, I just watched the Pacers last night. I'm just like, I'm dreading that portion of the show of just regurgitating the same thing that we've been saying because nothing's changing here. So, Pacers, please get it together. Tyrese Halliburton, please be commanding, be ball dominant. We need it, please. Pacers lose. Classic Pacers fashion against the Pistons. An easy, winnable game here, and they beefed it. Classic Pacers. Pacers lose 111-106. All right, next game up here is the Cavs at the 76ers, and this is a game that we bet on. We bet on them officially at 76ers minus 7.5, and they only win by 6. Now, let's give some credit for the Cavs of being competitive. They were winning basically the entire game, but the second half, the 76ers come alive, and this is what we've been seeing ever since James Harden got to this team after the All-Star break when everybody was playing together. This 76ers team, they're just consistent throughout the entire game, but they let teams get big leads. When they faced the Knicks twice, the Knicks were up at half. The Knicks were up big in the first half. This Cavs team up at half, like yo-yoing between kind of like 20 to 12 point lead throughout basically the first 2.5 quarters. But the 76ers stay with it, and they win in the fourth quarter. Now, that's huge, and that's great. Winning, commanding the fourth quarter. I mean, we just talked about the Pacers, folks, beefing it, 12-1 run at the end of the fourth quarter, losing the game. The 76ers do not do that. But what could snag the 76ers, what were we talking about last year, folks, in the playoffs? Joel fatigue. You remember that? We called that man Joel fatigue because he could not play well into the fourth quarter. It was missing, open layups and free throws in the fourth quarter, showing that fatigueness. So, yeah, this is great that the 76ers are winning and not showing signs of fatigue quite yet, but we still got about like 20 games to go. We still got, playoff series, 7-game playoff series. So, the fact that this 76ers team is not kind of like blowing out teams and everybody kind of resting a little bit in the fourth quarter, we get everybody going super hard up until that final buzzer. So this could be the potential downfall of the 76ers. We all know kind of James Harden's playoff history, not getting the kind of foul calls that he's used to. Joel Embiid becoming Joel fatigue. So yes, we love this team so far right now in the regular season, but we may be starting to see the small little cracks appearing that are going to become giant cracks once we get to the playoffs. So we'll see if the endurance of this 76ers team, especially with Joel Embiid, is good to go heading into the playoffs. But let's keep this in mind, and let's not be hesitant. Let's not be overcautious, but let's keep this in the back of our mind. Hey, yeah, going toe to toe with these these teams every, game in, night out. We just, literally like the last 4 games all coming down a little bit to the wire. 76ers down in the fourth quarter, having to kind of stage that comeback. That takes a lot out of you. And if you have to do that for the remaining 20 plus games, 20 some odd games heading into the playoffs, that endurance may not be there. That stamina may not be there. And that's what you need in the playoffs, folks. Stamina in depth. Health, stamina in depth. That's what wins championships. And the 76ers and Joel Embiid don't have the best track record of having that endurance, having that stamina. So, let's just note it. It's noted. We're just noting it. That's exactly what we're doing. We're just noting this. Put it on the pin board right there. Note 76ers potentially downfall is them being fatigued, and this is why going all the way to the fourth quarter against the Cavs team with no Karis LeVert. Yes, they had Darius Garland back, who, obviously they definitely need back, but this isn't like that full Cavs at 100%, had a 100% strength team, and you kind of went, whistle to whistle, buzzer to buzzer with them. So a little concerning, maybe, potentially. We'll see. But let's talk about the 76ers since they got the win. The big three, yes. And folks, we are officially calling this a big three. Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, James Harden. So the big three of the 76ers. Joel Embiid, 22 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds. Tyrese Maxey, 33 points, 5 assists. And James Harden, 25 points, 11 assists, 3 rebounds. So all the big three getting it done. And then Tobias Harris getting it done, 15 points. We'll take that. 0 of 5 from the three, so definitely would like to have him be more efficient from the three. But once again, Tobias Harris just really has to be the fourth option out here. So this is a solid performance by the 4. We'll still give him a little bit of credit. And then off the bench, yes. Georges Niang, baby. What have we been clamoring for all season? More Niang, more Georges Niang here. And the man played 22 minutes, shot 66%, 17 points, 2 rebounds, and was a plus 13 on the floor in those 23 minutes. So love Georges Niang getting it done. And then Shake Milton, 11 points, 4 rebounds coming off the bench. He was a plus 18 off the bench. So yes, we needed to see the depth of the 76ers step it up. And we love Georges Niang and we love Shake Milton. And we got great performances last night by the both of them. So well done for the 76ers coming back and beating the Cavs. And then for the Cavs last night, Darius Garland did end up playing. He had 26 points, 19 assists, a masterful game from the kid. Love to see it. Jared Allen, 20 points, 7 rebounds. We had Isaac Okoro, 22 big old points. And then C.D. Osman, once again, do not sleep on C.D. Osman out here. 20 points on 3 of 8 from the 3. We will absolutely take that. Kevin Love, also a nice 11 points, 10 rebound performance. They were competitive all game. They had the lead for the majority of the game, but that longevity, that endurance that the 76ers have at the current moment, it's beating some teams out here. So 76ers get the 6-point win, 125-119. All right, next game up here is the Hawks at the Wizards, and the Wizards were competitive, and the Hawks had to kind of, be on their, bullshit all game long just to squeeze out a 3-point win, winning 117-114 over the Wizards. So this Hawks team, nothing dominant, even against kind of the worser teams. This Hawks team is still kind of struggling to prove that they are a dominant team and deserve to be in the top 10, folks. So we're trying to kind of see what they've got. So far, it's nothing great, but hey, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, beating the Wizards. Regardless of how you do it, you did get the win. So we will still give the Hawks a little bit of credit here, but we'd like to see more. Got to see more out of this Hawks team, especially what they just came off last season, being good and winning in the playoffs and all that. So Hawks definitely took a little bit of a step back from last season, but trying to get it back on track here. We've seen a couple of attempts by this Hawks team to get the season back on track and then just derail a few games later. So once again, have to take it slow with the Hawks, but well done for getting the win. Gotta give them credit for the win. But here we go. Trae Young last night, 25 points, 8 assists. We had DeAndre Hunter, 26 points, and then Clint Capella at the 5, 12 points, 12 rebounds. Down low. And then Bogdanovich, once again, coming off the bench, 17 points, 3 of 8 from the 3, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. We'll take it. Bogdanovic continuing to fit in right in off the bench. And then for the Wizards, Kyle Kuzma, 22 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds. Didn't shoot the best, 0 of 6 from the 3 and shot 42% from the field on 21 shots. He took the most shots of the game. Once again, Tyrese Halliburton, get on your Kyle Kuzma a little bit, yes? We had KCP, 28 points, led the team in scoring. Denny Avdija, 9 points. We had Thomas Bryant coming off the bench, 12 points, 6 rebounds. And then Rui Hachimura also coming off the bench with 19 big ol' points, 6 rebounds in only 25 minutes. So Wizards, once again, just trying to fill the role of Bradley Beal, trying to find that other kind of primary number one scorer for the Wizards. And they're still trying to figure it out. Still not quite there yet. So Hawks get the win, 117-114. All right, next game up here, Magic at the Raptors, and the Raptors lose this game. No Fred VanVleet. They definitely need that man. He's the facilitator. He's a huge scorer for this team. So they just really cannot function without him. And I would have to say Pascal Siakam's kind of MVP candidate run, I think, is unfortunately kind of, coming to an end a little bit. We never said that Pascal Siakam was obviously like the number 1 or number 2 in line to win MVP, but we wanted him in the discussion, like we wanted DeMar DeRozan in the discussion. But, all these kind of games of losing from Pascal Siakam with no Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam not being able to kind of put the team on his back single-handedly and close out games and win these games, especially games like against the Magic. Yes, there's no Fred VanVleet, but overall, I'm still taking the Raptors kind of, backups over the Magic starters almost any day of the week here. So the fact that the Raptors couldn't get it done here, they lose by 6, 103-97. Pascal Siakam had a good game, don't get me wrong, 34 points, 14 rebounds on 65% shooting, but we need more. Whatever it calls for, yes, it's a great performance, but at the end of the day, it's a losing performance. You lost close, you had to dig in deep a little bit, and Siakam couldn't do that. We're talking about most valuable player, who brings the most value to your team, regardless of who's in the starting lineup, who's injured, who has COVID, who's on your team, superstars, regardless of what it is. What are you doing to just make your team the best and be competitive game in and game out and win games? You've got to win games as an MVP. And Siakam, I get it, he's by himself out here, no Fred VanVleet, but you still got Scotty Barnes and Gary Trent Jr. You still got the pieces. You just got to put the team on your back a little bit more. So we love Siakam still. We're not knocking Siakam in any way. We're just saying that his MVP candidate run is unfortunately over. I think we are officially closing that chapter for Siakam on the season. No disrespect, but I think that's where we are at the current moment. So Siakam, a really good game, just coming up a little bit short here. Gary Trent Jr. only had 4 points, 0 of 9 from the 3 shot, 16% on 12 shots. If we're tracing back the loss, yeah, it's Gary Trent Jr., not Siakam. But once again, your team's struggling. You got to kind of make up that slack regardless any way possible. And Pascal Siakam obviously did not do that. They lost the game. We had Malachi Flynn filling in for Fred VanVleet at the 20 points, 8 assists. Pretty good impression of Fred VanVleet. I will give Malachi Flynn some credit there. And then Scotty Barnes letting us down as well. 10 points on 26% shooting. Potential for Rookie of the Year there. And once again, he just did not get it done either. So Siakam is like, damn, y'all are really trash. I'm really trying my best out here. And y'all are, dissolving my MVP run. So thank you for that. So Raptors come up a little bit short. But for the Magic, well done. Winning the game. And it wasn't really by one single person. Everybody was into the action. All 5 starters in double-digit scoring. Jalen Suggs at the 1, 15 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Cole Anthony at the 2, 15 points, 12 rebounds. Mo Bamba at the 5, 14 points. Chuma Okeke, 10 points, 11 rebounds. And then Franz Wagner, 11 points, only on 35% shooting, but we'll take it. Double-digit points. That's what we need to see. And then getting great production off the bench. Gary Harris, 11 points. RJ Hampton, 11 points. That's all we need, and that's all the Magic needed last night to get the win. They get the win, 103-97. Alrighty, next game up here is the Bucks at the Bulls here, and once again, why the Bulls aren't a good team and why they don't belong in the top 10 and why DeMar DeRozan really isn't in the front runner of MVP, and even DeMar DeRozan's MVP candidate run is slowly kind of closing on him. We just closed Pascal Siakam's MVP run, and DeMar DeRozan is kind of closing in at the current moment as well. The Bulls winning for the majority of the game, but beefing it down late in the fourth quarter. Exactly what we just saw by the Cavs team with the 76ers. So once again, the Bucks are a great team, able to kind of win games late in the fourth quarter, even though they've been trailing all game long, like the 76ers. Once again, the kind of endurance by the Bucks is going to be a little questioned, a little bit, not as much as the 76ers, because we just saw the Bucks get it done and win, game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals and getting to the finals and winning like that. So the Bucks don't have the history of being fatigued, so that's why it's a little bit more alarming and glaring with the 76ers here. But what's more alarming and glaring is that the Bulls cannot close out the game. The Bulls do not have any of that clutch ability here. So, once again, not a good team. They don't belong in the top 10, and don't give me DeMar DeRozan needs to be the MVP here. Missed some big mid-range shots, because that's all DeMar DeRozan does is the mid-range shots, and he missed a few of those late in the fourth quarter to kind of, when they already lost the lead, to get the lead back and to make it competitive to try to win this game. So Bulls not being able to win games, to close out games, that's why they do not belong in the top 10. And yes, they are number three in the Eastern Conference, but folks, it's nothing. They've got 39 wins. It's not like this is a winning team. They don't have the quality wins. And excuse me, they actually flip-flopped with the Bucks last night since they lost to them. Now the Bulls are the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference, and look who's right behind them, the Celtics at the 5th seed. This Celtics team is going to overtake the Bulls in no time. They're only a game and a half back, so 2 games later, Celtics will be the 4th seed. Bulls in danger of dropping down to the 5th and the 6th seed, potentially the 7th seed as well. So don't gush over the Bulls, folks, please. Once again, it's just kind of that overall media narrative. Nobody was talking about the Bulls. Nobody was talking about DeMar DeRozan until, somebody in the national media said, hey, DeMar DeRozan needs to be MVP. The man was shooting like 35 plus points over a 5-game stretch, like 60% shooting and all that. And then everybody got on the Bulls hype train. And once again, they're not beating good teams. This is not a great team. It's a good, solid team. They're not a great team like the Bucks, like the 76ers, like the Suns, like the Pelicans. I would take the Pelicans over the Bulls right now any day of the week. Even in Chicago, give me the Pelicans at Bulls, and I bet on the Pelicans every time, and I'm pretty sure they win every single time. So let's not get too big on the Bulls. They can't close out games, folks, and that's truly concerning. That's exactly what the Knicks are. Knicks can't close out games. We even saw that last night, even though they were playing fantastic. Can't close out games. Got to close out games to be considered a great team, or we won't consider you that, truly. So the Bucks get the win 118-112. Giannis, 34 points, 16 rebounds. Chris Middleton, 22 points. And Chris Middleton, the Chris Middleton and Giannis pick and roll, the Bulls weren't even defending it late in the fourth quarter. It was too easy. Pick and roll with Giannis and Chris Middleton. Giannis rolling to the basket. Chris Middleton just throwing it up for a lob or just an easy wide open pass because they were doubling Chris Middleton. It's like, what is that defense at the end of the game? You're not guarding Giannis down low on the pick and roll. What are you, crazy? And that's kind of why they won, because they weren't guarding Giannis. And Giannis stepping up and hitting the free throws, the clutch free throws. Still a little shaky in the free throw department overall in the fourth quarter, but to kind of close out the game, I believe he made like his final 2 or 3 or 4 free throws. So that's absolutely clutch, even though he went 10 of 19 for the game. So Giannis closing out games, stepping up, being clutch at the free throw line in the fourth quarter. That's clutch. That's why we love the Bucks. That's why we love Giannis. That's why they're in our top 10. And that's why the Bulls are not in our top 10. Not closing it out, not being clutch. Come on, Bulls, get it together. So Giannis, a fantastic game. Drew Holiday, 26 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. And Chris Middleton, 22 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Bobby Portis still playing the 5, 12 points, shot 2 of 4 from the 3. Once again, Bobby Portis on his bullshit, and 7 rebounds to go along with it. So great by the starters here. Once again, the bench, a little lackluster. Serge Ibaka, 0 points, 2 rebounds. That's what you traded your depth at the guard position for. 12 minutes to be a minus 12 on the floor, the worst by far. So once again, we didn't love the Serge Ibaka trade here, and there's just nothing great scoring production wise from the bench now. So Bucks, their starters are going to have to get it done every single game, and luckily the starters got it done clutch time in the fourth quarter. All right, and then for the Bulls last night, DeMar DeRozan, 29 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, but only shot 36%. You know, who's going to call him out on that? You know, where's the social media post of DeMar DeRozan floundering a little bit? And see what y'all have done to me. See what y'all have done to me, folks. Let's call it a month and a half, 2 months ago, we were championing DeMar DeRozan. We loved DeMar DeRozan. We were a little gushing over DeMar DeRozan, saying he needs to be in the MVP conversation. And then y'all got your hooks into him at kind of the wrong time, and now y'all got me kind of knocking DeMar DeRozan. Y'all got me on the counter because y'all wanted to kind of take it above and beyond and go crazy, wild with it, stupid with it, goofy with it. Y'all got goofy with DeMar DeRozan, so I had to kind of put y'all a little bit back in line, and now here I am knocking DeMar DeRozan every single game. You think I want to do that? I don't want to knock DeMar DeRozan. That was a minus 21 on the floor. You think it brings me joy saying that, folks? Of course not, but this is what y'all brought out of me, because now I got to kind of refix the overall narrative of DeMar DeRozan and bring it into more of a centrist point of view, because y'all went goofy with it. See what y'all do? See what y'all do? I'm fixing your mess out here, y'all. Come on. Damn. So DeMar DeRozan could be a little bit better. Could have been a little bit better last night. That's what we'll say. We had Vucevic playing the 4 and Tristan Thompson playing the 5. Kind of weird, but it kind of worked out for Vucevic. Vucevic, 19 points, 9 rebounds in 34 minutes, and a plus 11 on the floor. It kind of worked. Tristan Thompson didn't do that great. 4 points, only 3 rebounds, a minus 25 on the floor. He was the worst, second to DeMar DeRozan. And then we get Zach LaVine, 30 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. Once again, we've got no problem with Zach LaVine scoring and DeMar DeRozan scoring, but we need some more depth here. Ayo, a little bit ghost mode last night, 8 points, 7 assists. Kobe White, once again, a little ghost mode as well, 3 points, 2 assists. Once again, we need some scores out here. Yes, the big 3 are good, but we need some more scores, and Ayo and Kobe have truly shown us that they can be big time 10, 15 plus every single night scores, and they came up a little bit short last night, and that definitely hurt the Bulls overall. So Bucks get the win, close out in the fourth quarter, and they win by 6, 118-112. Alrighty, next game up, folks. And who do we love, folks? Who do we love? Who do we love? Who do we just put in the top 10, folks? I believe they are at currently number 7, and they'll be moving up big time next Friday. I'm already envisioning how much I'm moving this Pelicans up. And don't test me, because I will move them from number 7 to number 1. Do not test me on the Pelicans, folks. We don't say things for no reason, folks. We know what we're talking about. This Pelicans team is good. It's an official big 3, and they just beat the Jazz. And they didn't just beat the Jazz, folks. They beat the Jazz. Beat them up, beat them down. They destroyed the Jazz last night by 34 points, folks. 34 points. And do y'all remember what the spread was? Well, I do, because we bet on it, folks. Pelicans plus 4, and they win by 34. Holy value. Holy moly. Yes, folks, this Pelicans team is the real deal. We tried to tell y'all. I gave y'all the heads up 2 days ago when we bet on the Mavericks. Minus 1.5 against the Warriors. What happened? They win outright by, I want to say it was like double digits. No, about 10 points, 10 plus. And what did we say when we were betting on the Mavericks? We said don't sleep on the Mavericks and don't sleep on the Pelicans, especially when betting. And here we are not sleeping on the Pelicans, even though they were facing the Jazz, who we put as the number one team in the league, folks. We were so confident on the Pelicans, even though they were facing our number one team. We know this Pelicans team, folks. This is why we talk every team and every player, because the national media has been giving the Pelicans no love at all. No love at all. But here we are championing them, and here we are hitting a +4, hitting bets, because nobody's giving respect to the Pelicans. A little bit with Vegas. Once again, we did say that was respectful value, only making it like a 4-point spread. But at the end of the day, it should have been Pelicans like -20, you know what I mean? So, big time credit for this Pelicans team dominating all game long. Right from that first tip-off, it was game over. The Pelicans got up, controlled the game, and it was goodbye, kumbaya for the Jazz last night. So Pelicans get the dominant big win, 124-90. And there's great news on the horizon for the Pelicans. We'll get to that in a second, but let's talk about the stats first. So, the big three of the Pelicans last night: CJ McCollum, 24 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Brandon Ingram, 29 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. And then Valanciunas at the 5 only played 17 minutes last night, folks, 4 points and only 6 rebounds. But everything else was fantastic, especially the bench, folks. Willie Hernangomez, 13 points, 8 rebounds. Tony Snell, 11 points, 5 rebounds. Najee Marshall, 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 13 minutes. Yes, sir. Jackson Hayes letting us down a little bit in the starting lineup, only 5 points and 5 rebounds in 22 minutes. But hey, 2 of the 3, big 3 get it done. The bench going wild, and this is what we love to see by the Pelicans, folks, getting the win. Yes, sir. And then for the Jazz last night, everybody being super lackluster. The leading scorer was Donovan Mitchell with 14 points on 27% shooting on 18 shots. That's not going to win you any game. That will never win you a game right there. So Rudy Gobert getting kind of dominated a little bit, only 10 points, 11 rebounds. Bojan Bogdanovic, 5 points on 9% shooting. Mike Conley, 2 points on 12% shooting. We had Jordan Clarkson, 10 points on 36% shooting off the bench. So nothing great by the Jazz, getting dominated. So much talent, and nobody stepped up last night. Truly concerning, and we'll see how what we do with this Jazz team come next Friday when we have to reorder our power rankings, because I don't know if I can keep them number 1 anymore. And the Celtics, folks, they're right behind them at number 2. And y'all know we are chomping at the bit to put this Celtics team at the number 1 seed, folks. I am inches away. The Celtics play tonight. Do the Celtics play tonight, folks? What do we got with the Celtics? Because if the Celtics play tonight and they're facing somebody good, what do we got? All right, Celtics don't play tonight. All righty, I was going to make a deal. If they win tonight, I'd put them at number 1, but I think we'll just wait till Friday before we go reorder the list here. But Jazz, oof. It's going to be tough for you to retain that number 1 seed. So, Pelicans get the dominant, forceful, great win here, 124-90. And then the good news here, y'all ready for the better news? Because we know this Pelicans team is good, and they're going to get even better. And how is that going to be? Well, here we go. Pelicans Zion Williamson is returning to New Orleans after spending time in Portland for his foot rehab. So Williamson is cleared to progress in basketball activities. So Zion Williamson returning to New Orleans. He should be feeling good. I mean, if you're returning to New Orleans, it seems like he could be playing any minute now. So watch out for Zion to join this team, play the 4. And man, oh man, now this big 3 turns into a ginormous 4 here. And whew, sheesh, watch out when that happens, because we all know what Zion Williamson can do, folks. It was absolutely amazing, the short glimpse that we saw from this man healthy, and the man was looking dominant, folks. So he would be a huge, great addition for the Pelicans. And what do we got with this Pelicans team currently? Currently, the Pelicans are the are the 10th seed in the Western Conference, looking to kind of work their way up a little bit. Can easily move into the 9th seed, but getting to the 8th seed and above is going to be a little bit challenging. They're 6 games out from the 8th seed, only 1.5 games back. We're actually only 1 full game back from the 9th seed of the Lakers, so Pelicans gonna move up a little bit, but the biggest thing for them is to at least keep one of those 9-10 seeds, which we do have big time faith in. So Pelicans get the win, and Zion Williamson back shortly. Oof, what a night! What a night! All right, next game up here is the Timberwolves at the Thunder, and the Timberwolves blow them out 138-101. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's kind of magical run by his lonesome comes to an unfortunate end, getting absolutely blown out by 37 points last night. For the Timberwolves, no Anthony Edwards, and they were still able to blow them out. So this is big time great by the Timberwolves, finding other role players to step in for, the big three when they're not all healthy and all that, getting more bench depth, scoring and all that. This is big time great for an emerging Timberwolves team looking to get out of the kind of middle of the road 7th seed and get into the actual playoff spots and not just a play-in tournament. Timberwolves 2.5 games back from the 6th seeded Nuggets in the Western Conference. So this is exactly how you do it, getting great production from your role bench players out here. So well done for the Timberwolves last night. So we had D'Angelo Russell, 17 points, 7 assists. Karl Anthony Towns, 20 points, 3 steals, 3 assists, 8 rebounds. Jaden McDaniels, 16 points. And then off the bench, Malik Beasley, 15 points, 5 rebounds. Teron Prince, 18 points, 5 rebounds. Naz Reid, 20 points, 5 rebounds. That was all coming off the bench. So wonderful job by the Timberwolves. Everybody playing, everybody looking good. And that's what we've wanted to see by this Timberwolves team for a while now. So well done. And then for the Thunder, they have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he once again did his thing. 33 points on 66% shooting. Fantastic. 7 assists to go along with that. We had Isaiah Roby at the 5, 21 points, 10 rebounds. That was great. Trey Mann, 15 points. Alec Puko-Savetsky back in the starting lineup, 12 points, 5 rebounds. Pretty solid. But just nothing good off the bench. Leading bench scorer was Theo Melendon, 8 points, 4 assists coming off the bench. Did y'all just hear all those numbers that we said off the bench? 18, 20, 15. So nothing great by this Thunder bench. Once again, their depth ability is gone because Josh Giddey's already out, because Luguentz Dort is already out, so they have to go to Puko-Savetsky coming off the bench. So Thunder just kind of ran out of their magic, their little run, and they get blown out 138-101. All right, next game up here, we got the Rockets at the Nuggets, and Nuggets get the nice dominant win here. And what was the final spread of this one? Because we weren't really believing in the spread. Nuggets win by 15, 116-101. And what was the final spread here? I think it was hovering around like 13-15. So let's see what it quickly ended on. Oh, wow, it was this small? Did we overreact to that? Okay. Closing odds were Denver Nuggets minus 8.5 points. So, all right, they had no trouble covering that. All right. So we missed a little bit of value last night. Shame on us a little bit. But the Nuggets get the win, 116-101 over the Rockets last night. For the Nuggets, no Jokic last night, and that's probably why, because I don't think we said that, folks. So that's probably why it dropped. Let me see if I can track it. What did it open at? Did it open? What did it open at? All right. I just see closing. Usually they show a tracker, and I know we didn't talk about Jokic being out, because if we talked about Jokic being out, yeah, we would have absolutely stayed away 100% from this Nuggets game. But here we go. They had DeMarcus Cousins filling in for Jokic at the 5, and the man played like Jokic last night. 31 points for DeMarcus Cousins. Once again, this is a big world, folks. DeMarcus Cousins has played like 5 games this season, folks. And the man comes in starting in lieu of Jokic, who is MVP frontrunner, and goes MVP frontrunner mode. 31 points, 4 assists, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block, a plus 11 on the floor. Sheesh. Damn, DeMarcus. okay, do your thing. And he shot well, 3 of 4 from the three. That's Jokic-esque. 71% on 14 shots from the field. Yeah, that's Jokic-esque. So, man, oh man, DeMarcus Cousins had a night. Aaron Gordon still lackluster, 12 points. Once again, can't rely on him to kind of do anything magnificent scoring-wise. We had Jeff Green, 14 points. Will Barton, 11 points. Monte Morris, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. And then coming off the bench, JaMychal Green, 14 points. Bones Highland, 11 points, 5 assists. And Bones Highland has truly been getting it done for the bench for this Nuggets team. Bryn Forbes letting us down a little bit last night, only 7 points on 1 of 4 from the three. Usually we can count on him for double-digit points, coming up a little bit short. But overall, it was DeMarcus Cousins saying, hey, just hold on. I will lead y'all to the promised land. All right, and then they beat the Rockets last night. Christian Wood, 22 points, 10 rebounds. That was their best performer. That's their only superstar. Kevin Porter letting us down, 9 points, 3 assists on 25% shooting. So Rockets are classic Rockets, and DeMarcus Cousins fills in perfectly for the Nuggets. They get the win, 116-101. And then the final game of the night here, Knicks at the Suns. Suns get only a 1-point win here. They win 115-114 on a buzzer beater by Cam Johnson. And Cam Johnson was cooking all game long, especially in the fourth quarter. Man, oh man, the threes that this man was taking and hitting, man, oh man, were absolutely impressive. And here we go, Knicks up by 2 points with 2 seconds left, and they lose, folks, because Cameron Johnson pulls up from a deep three and absolutely cashes out on it. Game-winning buzzer beater 3 by Cam Johnson to beat the Knicks again, folks. Knicks, what is their losing streak, folks? Because it's absolutely comical at this point. Knicks are on a 7-game losing streak. Absolutely pitiful. That's the worst in the league at the current moment, folks. Nobody else, the Houston Rockets are on a 12-game losing streak. Oh, absolutely awful. But Knicks right behind them at number 7, folks, and that could grow all the way up to 12 plus. So we'll be tracking that. Knicks in contention for being the worst team in the league. So, Knicks lose by 115-114. Julius Randle gets ejected in the third quarter, and they were still getting it done and almost winning the game. Knicks not being able to kind of close out a full fourth quarter. That's always their downfall. So, yes, they were competitive. Yes, they even looked good at some for really kind of the entire game. The Suns, no Chris Paul. Also, remember, there was no Devin Booker last night, and they still could not overcome all of that. So, the Knicks, folks, woof. That's all we can say is a big old woof on this Knicks team. So, the Suns last night, we had Cameron Payne at the 1, 17 points, 16 rebounds. That's Chris Paul-esque, absolutely. We had Landry Shamet at the 2, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. That's not Devin Booker-esque, no way. But you know who was Devin Booker-esque? Cameron Johnson coming off the bench. 38 points on 9 of 12 from the 3. 9 of 12. Cameron Curry Johnson last night, yes. Especially the game winner, the most important 3 hits. Holy moly, what a game by Cameron Johnson. And folks, his 3-pointers in the fourth quarter were amazing. So pure, so crisp. They were only hitting the net. And yes, there's a thing called a swish where it only hits the net, but this was beyond swish level, folks. Like, it was crazy how fantastic these threes were just falling into the bucket. So, Cameron Johnson, what a night. What a night. What a night. And he's really the sole reason why they won last night. DeAndre Ayton let us down, 8 points, 3 rebounds. What the hell? This is a big world. It with no Chris Paul, no Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, it's kind of your team now, and you let us down. Pretty disappointing. McCall Bridges had 20 points. Jay Crowder, 14 points, 7 rebounds. He shot 2 of 7 from the 3, and he made some big-time clutch threes in the fourth quarter as well. So, shout out to Jay Crowder. Shout out bigger time to Cameron Johnson, but also shout out a little bit to Jay Crowder. And then Aaron Holiday off the bench, 48 points, 50 bench points scored off the bench. Aaron Holiday had 10 of them, so shout out to him. Most of them, like we know, coming from Cameron Johnson. So, what a performance for the Suns team to make up for their non-superstars on the floor and continuing to win. That's big time great. And then for the Knicks last night, we had Julius Randle, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and that was only in 28 minutes before the man got ejected. So the Suns probably don't win if Julius Randle wasn't ejected, but they eject him on some nonsense, get him a double technical, he's out of there, and that's unfortunate for the Knicks. RJ Barrett, only 20 points last night on 23% shooting, 1 of 7 from the 3. Definitely not Cameron Johnson-esque last night. No. Mitchell Robinson was a dominant force down low on the board. 17 points, 15 rebounds, 9 of those 15 rebounds offensive. Holy moly. Evan Fournier continuing to be a clown out there. Yes, he had 16 points, but the man was not good to close out the game in the fourth quarter like Evan Fournier classically is. Alec Burks, 16 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds. Solid guard play from the Knicks this time. Emmanuel quickly coming off the bench, 13 points and 8 rebounds helping out, but everybody else just kind of a little lackluster. So Knicks, man oh man, heartbreaking loss for this Knicks team. Needing desperate wins out here to start to turn around their season, to make a push into the play-in tournament. They've got their work cut out for them. They are about 5-6 games back from the 10th seed for just a play-in tournament game, and we're talking in the Eastern Conference, folks. Not good. So, Suns get the win, 115-114. Knicks can't close out a game to save their lives, and that's why they are our sponsor, folks. So, Suns get the win, 115-114. Alrighty, that is all the NBA from last night. Now let's quickly see what we have on tap tonight in the association and see what we can make a little bit of money on. Where is that great value? Alrighty, we've got 2, 4, 6 games on tonight, so let's see where the value hides. Here we go. First game up here, we get the Kings at the Mavericks. Kings +7, Mavericks -7. All right, Mavericks at home. For the Kings, we get Raquan Holmes as a game-time decision. And for the Mavericks, Tim Hardaway Jr. still out. Sterling Brown, Trey Burke, game-time decision. Also alongside Luka Doncic, a game-time decision. Oof, that's interesting. We got any news on Luka Doncic? Let's go to NBA Fantasy Labs, because if there's no Luka Doncic, I'm not swallowing 7. What are you, crazy? All right, who do we got? Markelle Fultz to play today. Mo Wagner to play today. Got any news on our man? Does not seem like we have any news on our man. Luka Doncic, a true game time decision. So I think we're going to have to kind of put off taking the Mavericks -7 so far. Him being a game time decision, we need that man on the floor, especially with this Kings team. Kings team starting to potentially turn it around a little bit, way better than the Pacers. So at this current moment, the Kings have won the trade over the Pacers. The Kings just beat the Spurs by 3 points in their last meeting. That was a good quality win for that Kings team. So a little bit too many question marks for this Mavericks team. We'll stay away from it for the current moment, and we'll see if Luka Doncic is officially announced out. We'll see if this line changes at all. I'm interested to see if this is a number without Luka Doncic or with Luka Doncic. Interested to see how kind of Vegas played it. So we'll stay away from this one. Too many question marks at the current moment. When there's more news on Luka Doncic, we may tweet out our picks. So stay tuned to our Twitter @TakesByFans for that potential information. All right, next game up here, we get the Spurs at the Hornets. Spurs +4, Hornets -4. Now, we know the Vegas loves this Hornets team, so this Hornets team against a winnable opponent in the Spurs, and they're only -4. Is this concerning? Should this be a little concerning for us? Like, I would say this is great value with the Hornets being -4, but the spread being like this, and we know Vegas wants to kind of gush over the Hornets at any point that they can, so it's a little bit of a lower spread than I was imagining, which kind of leads me to believe that we need to stay away from it. But I don't think I'm going to stay away from it, folks. I think if this is a sucker trap bet, I think we're going to walk right into this sucker trap bet, folks. I think this should be a dominant win by the Hornets. But let's check the ins and outs. For the Spurs, Lonnie Walker and Devin Vassell are game time decisions. And for the Hornets, Gordon Hayward is still out, but they've been getting it done without him, so that's not a problem. And Jalen McDaniels is a game time decision. So I don't know, folks. It's real interesting the way that Vegas is playing this spread right here, but I'm going to swallow the 4 with the Hornets. I think it's great value. Way too small of a spread here, folks. for us to be 100% confident in this. Think Vegas may kind of know some insider information. Once again, we've been getting burned by 2.5 2-point spreads as of recently. So is this just another kind of 2.5 point spread that's beefed up to 4 to kind of get us more engaged? I don't know, folks. I don't know. But the Hornets -4, and we'll assess the game after it happens. But I'm calling Vegas on their bluff right here, folks. I'm taking the Hornets -4. All right, next game up here, we get the 76ers at the Heat. Ooh, what a game. Is this on television? No, damn. Why is that not on national television? Is there any games on nationally televised television tonight, folks? No, there's not. How crazy. Oh, no, Lakers. Why is this game on? Folks, can we stop watching the Lakers, please? I know it's LeBron, but man, oh man, it's a garbage team, folks. Warriors at Lakers, 8 o'clock, 8:30 on ABC. The hell is that? What numbers is that drawn in? I don't know if I'm watching it. I'll watch it, but I don't want to watch it. I'm forcing myself to watch this tonight. I'll probably just watch the 76ers and Heat, honestly. They tip off at 8 o'clock. All right. But 76ers at the Heat, 76ers on the back-to-back, so we stay away from it. DeAndre Jordan is a game-time decision, so we'll see if he makes his debut. Would love to see how he plays for the 76ers team. And then for the Heat, Kyle Lowry still out. Jimmy Butler, game-time decision. Victor Oladipo not making his debut quite yet. I think we said on Monday that's when he's going to start making his debut. PJ Tucker, game-time decision. Caleb Martin, game-time decision. Max Strus, game-time decision. So we don't bet the back-to-backs. Too many outs for the Heat, so we stay away from this one. Then we get the Blazers at the Timberwolves. Timberwolves on the back-to-back. We stay away from this one. We get the Magic at the Grizzlies on the next matchup. Magic on the back-to-back. We stay away from that one. Magic +16. Grizzlies -16. Jeez Louise. Definitely staying away from that one. And then the last game of the night, Warriors at the Lakers. Lakers trash. No bettability on them. Warriors -6. Lakers +6. For the Warriors, Draymond Green is still out. And for the Lakers, we get LeBron, a game-time decision. Anthony Davis still out. Kendrick Nunn still out. Talen Horton-Tucker, a game-time decision. So, 2 trash teams at the current moment. Lakers a little bit more trash than the Warriors because we know the Warriors can kind of flip it at any moment. The Lakers, they just don't have the pieces to flick it on at any current moment. So, Warriors -6 is the only play here. But like we said, this Warriors team is not good as of late, so we have to stay away from it. So we're only betting one game tonight, folks. Measly one game. Hornets -4 is the best value of the night, folks. Alrighty, that was all the NBA we had to go over for today, folks. So let's shift gears to the NFL, quickly talk about some stories, and then we will get into our NFL final thoughts, folks, and we will have plenty of time for that, so don't you worry. All right, so here we go. Quickly, NFL stories to go through quickly, and I mean truly quickly. But here we go. Packers remain, quote, hopeful wait-and-see mode. They're in hopeful wait-and-see mode on Aaron Rodgers, folks. Yeah, this is where we want to be. Patient and hopeful wait-and-see mode. Hopeful wait-and-see mode after you've given everything for Aaron Rodgers. Brought in everybody that he wants. Everybody that he's familiar with. You go out and get the man. And now, after you met all of his demands, now you are still in hopeful wait-and-see mode. This is why you do not give in. Once again, you give an inch, they take a mile, and Aaron Rodgers has taken an inch and was given an inch and took mega miles. What's more than a mile? Kilometers? Is a kilometer more than a mile? I don't know, folks. I don't know foreign measurements. But whatever it is, more than a mile, many miles, many miles. I can't even count the miles, folks. I can't count how many miles Aaron Rodgers has just been pulling from this Packers organization. And at the end, he could be like, man, no thanks. Thanks for all the inches that y'all gave me. I love the miles that I've got, but I'm out of here. So this is why we don't cater to Aaron Rodgers. I'm done with Aaron Rodgers. I would have cut him. He's not worth the headache because even though you've been bowing down to this man, kissing this man's feet every step of the way, gushing over Aaron Rodgers so he doesn't have a meltdown every day, this is where we are. After you went through all of that for the man, we are in hopeful wait-and-see mode. No indication one way or the other. Aaron Rodgers tight-lipped, not showing his cards and all that, after you've done everything he wanted and more. So Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in hopeful wait-and-see mode. Hope it was worth it, Packers fans, because hope that one Super Bowl was worth it, because he's probably leaving. I would champion. We champion him leaving. You're talking all this garbage. You're putting on kind of the you're putting up the big mouth. Well, actions speak louder than words, Aaron. So leave. Believe in yourself. Bet on yourself like Tom Brady bet on himself. Left the Patriots for the Bucks. Won a ring year one. Do the same thing, Aaron Rodgers. Or are you too scared to do so? Because, oh my goodness, this is why I want Aaron Rodgers to leave so bad, because I am going to be on that man like white on rice, folks. I will be all over Aaron Rodgers if he leaves the Green Bay Packers to join a new team, and if he doesn't win a Super Bowl like Tom Brady did year one with a new team. So help me goodness, Aaron Rodgers, you will never hear the end of it. So you better think about this decision, staying in Green Bay, leaving Green Bay. You better hope you thought through this 1,000,000,000%, because I'm here waiting for you to slip up, Aaron Rodgers. And once it happens, once you slip, once I see your feet kick out from underneath you and you start to lean back and I see that foot rise above your head, Aaron Rodgers, you will never hear the end of it. You think what I'm doing right now is a little too excessive, a little bit too much? You wait and see. The turtle canvas is just the beginning. It's just the beginning, Aaron. So help me goodness, you leave the Green Bay Packers and flounder year one on a new team. Oh boy, you better go into hiding like we know you can. Aaron Rodgers probably has like 15 hiding spots he can go out and hide, get away from the national media and everything like that. So you better hope one of those 15 places that you've got hidden away throughout the entire world, you better hope one of those is ready and available to go to, because if you start off the season even 0-1, oh, man, it's going to be a fun week here at Takes by Fans. I can guarantee you that. So, Aaron Rodgers, you better hope you make the right decision. You understand me? I will never let you live it down. I'm just letting you know. I'm giving you fair warning, Aaron Rodgers. So you literally have all the information at your disposal of what decision you truly want to make. Let this be on the con side of leaving the Packers. You slip up once, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for you. It's a wrap for you. It's going to be a wrap for Aaron Rodgers. Ooh, I cannot wait for the decision. Aaron Rodgers' decision. It's going to be a fun offseason, folks. Aaron Rodgers, we warned you. Make your choice. Make your choice. Woo! I cannot wait, folks. I cannot wait. So the Packers, folks, in wait-and-see mode. Wait-and-see mode with Aaron Rodgers. This man's got this team hostage, folks. How crazy. Alrighty. All right. Next story up here quickly, and this is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know there was any wavering doubt or anything like that, but yeah, this is it. Nick Sirianni remains, quote, confident that Jalen Hurt is the guy for the Eagles at quarterback. And yeah, we saw some great things by the Eagles this season. Really very well done throughout the entire season. First year head coach, kind of Jalen Hurts' first full year committed as the starting kind of quarterback. No great pieces anywhere. Once again, their best receiver, A1 tier 1 receiver on the team was a rookie, Devontae Smith, and he had a really good season. But overall, it was just a really young team, and they really got it done. What did the Eagles finish at? Were they like 7? They got 7 wins last season? 8-7, yeah, really solid win. And that's just Jalen Hurts. He missed 2 games. Let me get this up here. They finished 9. Hang on. They finished 9-8. Overall, really solid year 1 for really a lot of people on this team. So really solid year by the Eagles. This was a winning year. This was a positive year, folks. So when we do get to the NFC East NFL final thoughts, yeah, this was a good year by the Eagles. And Jalen Hurts got better. Still needs to improve. I mean, we're not saying Jalen Hurts is top 10, top 15. You may be able to say top 20, but like 20 or 19-ish. But I mean, he's able to get it done. And this Eagles team, they were scoring all game long, and there was a healthy, balanced running and passing attack. So they eased Jalen Hurts into year one and all that. We absolutely love that. Jalen Hurts, 61% completion percentage this year. Once again, needs to get a little bit better, but it's still good. He had 52% in the 4 games that he played his rookie year. Upgraded that to 61%, so getting better. Threw for 3,100 yards, but he had about 800 yards rushing, so, right under that 4,000-yard mark. He had 784 rushing yards, so very close to that 4,000-yard standard that we really need to see quarterbacks producing at. So overall, that was good. 16 touchdowns. 9 interceptions. Yeah, definitely got to get those touchdowns up a little bit. The biggest kind of knock that we do have on Jalen Hurts is his red zone interceptions. Definitely have to cut those down a lot here. But once again, first full year, you're going to make the mistakes. No big deal as long as you're cleaning it up. And we really did see him get better as the season progressed. So, yeah, and also with those 16 passing touchdowns he also had 10 rushing touchdowns. So, really, the number is 26 touchdowns and, 9 interceptions. So not bad overall by Jalen Hurts. This was a winning season. When you kind of take a step back and look at the season, yeah, this was a good winning season. Obviously, it didn't result into a Super Bowl, obviously, but it got it done when they needed it to, and a 9-8 season. Very solid. And they didn't make it to the no, they did make it to the playoffs and got a little smacked by the Tampa Bay Bucks, which is, kind of granted. Jalen Hurts didn't play well, 53% completion percentage, 2 interceptions, only 1 touchdown. So, once again, the kind of moment you got to the playoffs, took that step, get better, learn from it. So, yeah, Jalen Hurts definitely should be the quarterback here. Let me quickly see what the actual quote is here by Nick Sirianni. See what he's gushing, what he likes about Jalen Hurts, see if it matches up with what we like about Jalen Hurts. So here we go. Quickly, the lead up to the first quote. Sirianni believes Hurts has what it takes to get Philadelphia back to the postseason and to push it further than the first round as the Eagles continue to learn to fly with their young quarterback and coach leading the way, saying, quote, he led us to the playoffs, and obviously we want to go further than that, and we're really confident that Jalen is the guy that can help us do that. Yeah. I'm confident as well. And once again, one more quote here, last quote, so let's read the last lead up. Questions surrounding Hurts' arm strength abound, but Sirianni believes Hurts has improved season after season and is confident that will carry on in 2022. Once again, everybody, strong arm. Tua doesn't have a strong arm. Jalen Hurts doesn't have a strong arm. I like Jalen Hurts' arm, and Jalen Hurts can throw on the run and has some nice escapability with him. So, yeah, I don't know if I have any questions about Jalen Hurts' arm strength, but this is what Nick Sirianni says in lieu of that. Says, quote, he just continues to get better, whether that's from Alabama to Oklahoma, or Oklahoma to his first year in the NFL, or first year to the second year. We just know that progressing is going to continue, and it's because of the person he is and that he loves football. The guy loves football, and he's just willing to do the things that he needs to do to get better, and that's why he does continue to get better. And that's exactly it. Getting better every single year. That's what we want to see, and when we judge and gauge rookie talent, we always look for the progressions from junior, sophomore, or freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year. We're always looking for you getting better. And if you take a step back from like 1 year to the next, that's when we start throwing up red flags. But Jalen Hurts, going from Alabama to Oklahoma, getting better and continuing to get better. And like we just said, got better year 1 to year 2 in the NFL here. So continuing to get better, younger team overall, need maybe one more kind of standout wide receiver to help out the Eagles overall and to help out Jalen Hurts. The running game is solid, the defense is solid, just building all on that. We trust Nick Sirianni and all that. Bring in one more wide receiver through the draft, through free agency, and now we've got a complete team team here. And once again, the NFC East is going to be wide open, folks. The Cowboys will not be winning. We just told y'all we predicted the future technology-wise, putting a lot of money into that technology and getting rid of Amari Cooper, which they're all planned on doing. The Cowboys are planning on doing. The Cowboys are going to go 3-14 next season. We're betting it. We're going to book it and all that, folks. This is a high money, high budgeted product technology-wise that we develop. So we're not going to let it go to waste. We're going to cash in. We believe in the numbers that we crunched. We believe in the data that we pumped into the machine. So we will bet that the Cowboys only win 3 games next year, but we have to wait for that to come out. But the overall point is the NFC East is going to be wide open. So Washington, they need a quarterback. Giants, they've got the pieces. They just need to put it all together. And this Eagles team, they just need to get better from last year to this season upcoming, and they could be the NFC East champions and hosting a playoff game. That could be happening. So love that Nick Sirianni is believing in Jalen Hurts. I believe that is the right call, and we'll see them continue to get better this upcoming season. Cannot wait for this Eagles team to play. Alrighty, and talking about the NFC East being wide open, Washington going full throttle for a starting face of the franchise quarterback out here, because we get this by Ian Rappaport. How serious are the Washington Commanders in their search for a quarterback? Sources say they made a strong offer to the Seahawks on Russell Wilson. It didn't go anywhere, but a sign Washington is ready to deal, and given what they have on the roster, they may be a quarterback away, and we have seen Ron Rivera do very well with this Washington football team. The defense really was lackluster this season. The offense was a little bit better. So if we get the quarterback and the defense kind of reverts back to what they were in 2020, now we're talking about a really good team. So, we gave, what's his name? Hang on, it's not Terry McLaurin. That's the wide receiver. What is the Washington Commanders now? We got to get used to that. We got to, get used from going from Washington Redskins to Washington football team, and now we got to get used to Washington football team to Washington Commanders. It's like writing, 2021 as the date on all your paperwork that you need to when this year just changed. We're going to have to get used to calling this Washington team the Washington Commanders now. Jeez Louise. But Taylor Heineke. See, I knew it would come to us. But yeah, Taylor Heineke, we've given this man the benefit of the doubt here. He should still be on the roster and should still be competing for the starting role, but whoever you bring in, is going to be kind of the main guy. But Taylor Heineke can still kind of push and play behind him. So Washington committed to finding that quarterback, and we get Gardner Minshew, Mitch Trubisky. I don't know if I go with Mitch Trubisky over Gardner Minshew, but there are quarterbacks out here. Obviously not kind of like a Russell Wilson. This just kind of speaks to the Seahawks not willing to, because that you're throwing in probably 3 first-round picks for like a Russell Wilson type quarterback, and the Seahawks not accepting that kind of proves, hey, we're keeping the man. And you got it. You can't let a Russell Wilson type talent go, honestly. So Seahawks are committed to Russell Wilson, and the Washington Commanders are committed on finding a better guy, an established guy. So we'll see who they end up with, but expect Washington to make a deal, folks. Alrighty, and then let's save this one. Once again, we're trying to get to these top 10 plays here, but a little bit more pressing on the matter right now is getting to our NFL final thoughts. So we'll save the Joe Burrow top 10 plays for tomorrow, potentially, when we have maybe a little bit more time in the show, but went long in the NBA. What else is new? But let's now head over to our NFL 2021 season final thoughts. Just quick, brief, or maybe in depth. There is one thing we will go in depth on, because we have to kind of get that on paper. We got to get those thoughts down on paper. Once again, we want to get our final thoughts on the season that just ended with the Rams winning the Super Bowl. We want to get this season's final thoughts on paper as soon as possible before the offseason truly kicks into high gear, and so far it really already has, and we're already kind of getting a little bit of revisionist history already, but we know the NFL offseason is a long, grueling 7 months of information and kind of, revisionist history. Actually the Panthers were good, and that's what we're trying to avoid, because I can already see it now, folks. 4 or 5 months from now, when we're really kind of gearing up for next year in the NFL, I already know somebody's going to say the Carolina Panthers are a good team and Matt Rule's a good coach and they're ready to win. No, folks. This Panthers team is absolutely abysmal, and we cannot let the revisionist history overtake that and let Matt Rule off the hook. So, got to get our final thoughts down before, the information, the media starts to kind of change the narratives of what happened last season. So what we have written down here, it's set in stone, and if we get kind of too caught up in the overall offseason whirlwind of news, information, new signings, drafts, free agency, trades, and all that, we cannot lose sight of what we just witnessed over about 20 weeks, talking through it every single day, breaking every single game down, evaluating everybody's performance in those games. We cannot lose that information to social media's narratives, to the mainstream narratives and all that. So, got to get everything written down so we can go back to it if we do end up getting too caught up into the information that comes out during the NFL offseason. So, today's our first day doing this, a little late. It is March 5th, a little bit late, but better late than never. And once again, it's, we're about, 2 weeks removed. This is the second Sunday without football, so still early. Wish we did it a little bit earlier, but we were running out of time. So, we're going to be starting here with the AFC East, giving our final thoughts on the Bills, the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the Jets. So, with all that being said, let's start here with the first team up, and that is the Buffalo Bills. And honestly, folks, the really only final thought is on this Bills team is they're legit. They're really kind of Super Bowl competitors every single year. It's Super Bowl or bust literally every single year. Josh Allen has proven he can get it done. It was the defense that beefed it with the final 13 seconds. It was Josh Allen striking the ball over the middle, striking the ball over the middle, striking the ball way deep over the middle. Josh Allen running the ball, getting it done in that divisional game against the Chiefs in Kansas City. So, real simple here for the Bills, folks. They're it. They're legit. They're ready to compete for the Super Bowl. A great season overall. Let's quickly check their wins. Once again, let's see what actual good wins they had. Now that we've seen every team complete the entire year, go through kind of the natural progression of maybe not being so good in the first half of the season, good in the second half and all that, or just trash throughout. Who were the good quality wins throughout the season? Did they have any bad losses throughout the season? So let's kind of recheck their schedule on who they beat and lost to and all that. So they start week 1 losing to the Steelers, pretty close, 23-16. We know the Steelers were a trash team overall, but we will give the Bills a little bit of a pass. Week 1, alrighty, we can give you a little bit of a benefit of the doubt there. But then they go and beat the Dolphins. Dolphins were great all season, especially in the beginning, so not that great of a win. They beat Washington. Washington never really took off the ground. We know the Washington defense wasn't really anything good all year long. Texans, once again, nothing good all year long, but they get the win. They beat the Chiefs early on, week 5 there. That's a great quality win. We'll keep track of quality wins, and that Chiefs team is a quality win. They lose against the Titans, and we saw the Titans claim the number 1 seed in the AFC. Derrick Henry, I believe, was playing during this game, week 6. I think he got injured, week 7, 8, very close after that. But losing against the Titans, that's a really kind of bad loss right there. We know this Titans team was a quality opponent throughout the season. They beat the Dolphins again, but once again, the Dolphins weren't truly there. They were paying Brian Flores to lose games, so, there's that. We can't really count the Dolphins in any quality wins. They lose to the Jags, and the Jags were playing spoiler all season long, a la week 18 against the Colts. Holy moly. They beat the Jets. Jets never were really good. They lost to the Colts. I mean, the Colts were trash. Carson Wentz was trash, especially at the back end of the season. So that's a bad loss. So we got one win so far. Let me count these. One win, one good win. And what do we got? Two bad losses. The Titans and the Colts, bad losses. So yeah, losses. We got two bad losses so far. All right. Then they beat the Saints. Saints weren't really anything, especially at the back end of the season when everybody was injured quarterback-wise. They lose to the Patriots, division rival, never a great loss. They lose to the Bucks. That's another kind of tough loss there. I mean, Bucks getting into the playoffs, the second round of the playoffs and all that, losing to them in Week 14, not a great look for the Bills. Then they beat the Panthers. Panthers were trash all year. They beat the Patriots for the second time around. They beat the Falcons. They were trash, and they beat the Jets. So, alrighty, now that we look back at the schedule, I mean, there was one quality win, and that was against the Chiefs. All right, congratulations. You can beat the Chiefs, and your defense can step up against the Chiefs early on in the season, but not when it matters on the road, in the playoffs, second round of the playoffs, divisional round of the playoffs. So, alrighty, let's write this down. This was one quality win. One quality win. Three bad losses. Bad losses against good teams. The Bucks, the Titans, the Bucks, the Titans, and the third team here. Blanking on it. What was it? Colts. Yeah, that Colts. That was big time. Oof. That's a woof. That's a woof loss. So, schedule-wise, they had an easy schedule, but Josh Allen, let's write this up. Josh Allen was fantastic. I mean, we had really no doubt in Josh Allen the entire year, and this Bills offense was good. All they needed was just kind of a running back because Josh Allen was doing both the passer and the runner. So let's get up Josh Allen's overall stats quickly. We know that he did take a little bit of a step back from last year to this season, but that's just because, last year, 2020, his performance was so gosh dang good, 69% completion percentage. We knew he wasn't really going to be able to live up to that again. But 63% completion percentage, still solid overall. 4,400 yards, fantastic. And then 36 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. A little bit high on the interceptions. Still, don't really want more than 10 in a season if we're kind of in a perfectionist world. But overall, he still made it work. And once again, the rushing attack on top of that. 763 yards, 6 touchdowns, rarely fumbling and losing them. So, Josh Allen, the passer, we've got big believability in that. So we believe big time. Let's write that. We believe big time in Josh Allen, running and passing, rushing and passing. The only thing really that this Bills team is going to have to overcome is, how much of an impact does Brian Daboll have on this passing game overall? Because I honestly think, I like Brian Daboll. I think he's good. I don't think he's as great as everybody makes him out to be. No offense, but I'm not that bought into Brian Daboll. I mean, Brian Daboll, people gush over this man, and I don't know if I don't gush over the man. No. But we'll see. Was Brian Daboll kind of holding this team back a little bit, or was he getting the best out of this team? Obviously, we'll know more this upcoming year. But I wouldn't be worried if I was the Bills. Once again, Brian Daboll, I think, was holding this team back a little bit offensively. So we'll see if this Bills team progresses from this year to next season. But overall, this Bills team, they're gonna be aggressive passing. They got the talent. Josh Allen, huge believability in there. And I am gonna write this because I don't want to lose this in the shuffle, folks, of what happened this season. Josh Allen, I'm gonna say this, folks. Josh Allen, here we go, is the best dual threat quarterback in the league. Yeah. Over Lamar Jackson, over Kyler Murray, over Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen is the best dual threat quarterback in the league. When this man runs, it is fantastic. He knows how to play the running game, knows when to get out of bounds, knows when he can kind of buy some more time, buy some more yards, tiptoeing on the sideline, rarely fumbles, big body, can QB sneak, will run right up the middle, solid speed overall. The man is the best dual threat quarterback in the league, folks, and we are not apologizing for that take, and I will not take that take back until I see what happens next season. So overall, we believe in Josh Allen 100%. The offense should be fine. Let's write that. The offense should be fine, and I'm going to say slash tad better without Dable. And the overall outlook, we'll have this for every single team too. The outlook, is it a positive outlook or negative outlook? This is a big old positive Super Bowl outlook. I mean, that's really what it is. The defense, that everybody was bragging about all season long. This Bills defense is so good. They're so good. They're the ones that beefed at the end. It wasn't really the offense. Josh Allen was getting it done in big time spots in that game, folks. So positive Super Bowl outlook, truly. So there's really nothing to worry about by this Bills team. Defense, yeah, they hit a little snag in that game, but overall I don't see this defense kind of imploding or anything. This is, the only real concerning thing for the season was maybe their schedule going 11-6, and really that was one of the easiest schedules maybe in the NFL at the end of the year that it's all said and done. But overall it was a good year by the Bills, just unfortunately ended not great. Once again, we're having this overtime rule discussion in the offseason because of the Bills and all that, but they'll be fine. Josh Allen will be able to prevail, and the Bills offense should be back right at it next season. The defense will just have to kind of, step up one time. Can they step up one time in the fourth quarter? If they do, Josh Allen will be able to get to the big game next year. Alrighty, so that's the Bills. I mean, there's really nothing to say about them. They're a great team. They were great this season. Just a little surprised when we go back to look at their opponents and who they beat and who they didn't beat. But overall, they were getting it done. Alrighty, next team up here, we are going to the New England Patriots, and really the biggest thing the biggest question we have to kind of find out right now, get on paper, is Mac Jones. Is he a good passer? Because I was believing in Mac Jones really all year long, folks. And then really kind of at the back end of the season, at the start of the off season here for this Patriots team, since they didn't make the playoffs, everyone was talking about them a little bit earlier. Everyone was kind of saying, Mac Jones wasn't good and his accuracy wasn't good. So we've got some clips up here I want to investigate because I want to get this down before we get into the true thick of it of the offseason. What is Mac Jones as a passer? Because I was kind of buying him all season long, but I see kind of the overall narrative not agreeing with us. So I've got some film up here I want to kind of check from Mac Jones to kind of get a nice gauge on the man overall. He had 67% completion percentage this season, folks. I think that's absolutely fantastic. And given what this Patriots team had as kind of their starting wide receivers, I really think he made the most of it. I mean, we had Nelson Aguilar, folks. He's not A1 tier 1. He's a solid tier 2 wide receiver. And that's why we like Mac Jones, because he was making it work with all tier 2 pieces. There was no tier 1 piece, running back, tight end, or wide receiver wise on this Patriots team. And we still had Mac Jones throwing for 67% completion percentage on 521 attempts. Folks, that's absolutely fantastic. I mean, what do we get with Josh Allen? I want to say Josh Allen, I think he threw more overall than Mac Jones, but how much more? I think he had like 600 attempts. What do we got with Josh Allen? 646 attempts. So we got about 100 more attempts by Josh Allen throughout the year. Let me see if I can find somebody a little bit closer. And Josh Allen's a little bit of an outlier because of, there was no running game established by the Bills. So it was always Josh Allen just slinging the ball loose. I want to try to get a nice gauge on Mac Jones and put it in perspective of his passing attempts. Let's see what Joe Burrow did. How many throws did Joe Burrow have this season? Obviously, his may be a little skewed because of the postseason. No, but yeah, I think this may just be regular season numbers, but here it is. Joe Burrow throwing the ball 520 times. So yeah, I mean, Mac Jones threw the ball more, 521. So one more attempt by Mac Jones. And he, a little less overall completion percentage than Joe Burrow, but I'm not saying Mac Jones is better than Joe Burrow in the first place. So Mac Jones throwing 67% on as many throws as Joe Burrow did, that's big time impressive to me. Not having a Jamar Chase, not having a T. Higgins, not having a Tyler Boyd, and he still was able to get great production from his receivers for some nice quality wins on the year. So yeah, I like Mac Jones statistically wise. We are going to watch the film to make sure that the film does line up with the numbers. But yeah, I'm giving Mac Jones credit for the accuracy. And once again, his receivers, Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, N'Keal Harry, folks, come on. I mean, what are we talking about here? He doesn't have that Jamar Chase. He doesn't have that Devontae Smith, rookie-wise. He doesn't have anybody established like a DeAndre Hopkins, like a Josh Allen, anything like that. Jacoby Myers. I mean, folks, Gunnar Ulazuki. I mean, folks, who is that? Nobody even knows who this man is. So he was making it work and doing very well. Throwing 67%, folks, is fantastic, folks. It's truly fantastic. So I'm giving Mac Jones some good credit here, but I do want to back up the film with the stats. But before we get into that, let's go back to the Patriots games and count their quality wins and tough losses. Let's get those written down as well. Little surprise on the Bills, lackluster wins and bad losses. Let's see if the Patriots have good wins and not that many bad losses. So here we go. Through the Patriots schedule, they lose to the Dolphins. Once again, we can't gauge the Dolphins. When we get to the Dolphins, folks, we're kind of blanking out this year. This whole Brian Flores situation, it's a mess. It's bungled. Everything is kind of murky. Everything is blurry of what is true and what is false. So we're really just going to kind of just point out what the facts are on the Dolphins and leave it at that, because next season, everything is going to be 100% different. This season truly is going to hold no weight in the overall moving forward of the Dolphins. So we're really just going to be blanking out and canceling out the Dolphins. There is one thing I want to kind of say, but we'll get to that when we get to the team. But here we go, counting the good quality wins and losses here by the Patriots. So they beat the Jets. We can't count that as a quality win. They lose against the Saints. The Saints were above the Patriots in the first part of the season. They lose to the Bucs. We're not going to count that against them. I mean, when we count quality wins and quality losses, it's quality relative to the team. That's why, the Bills losing against the Colts, the Titans, and that third team. Why do I keep blanking on the third team? But, that's why that's so alarming that they lost to those teams. Alrighty, but here we go. They beat the Texans. That's a good quality win for, no, I'm not going to count that as a quality win. They definitely should have beat them. They lose to the Cowboys in overtime. That is I'll count that as a little bit of a bad loss there for the Patriots. They beat the Jets. They beat the Chargers. That's a quality win. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Browns. I'll call that a quality win. They beat the Falcons. They beat the Titans. That's a quality win. They beat the Bills. That's a big old quality win. They lose to the Colts. Should lose to the Colts. They lost to the Bills again. They beat the Jags. Should beat the Jags. And they lose to the Dolphins. So that's about 4 quality wins here by the Patriots. And really only one quality loss. 1 or 2. I guess we can count the Saints. I mean, they really should beat the Saints. Even with Jameis Winston early on week 3, it wasn't like that offense was explosive. So I will upgrade it to 2 bad losses, 4 quality wins, though, for this Patriots team. So let's get that up here before we move on to Mac Jones. So here we go. For the Patriots, we got 4 quality wins and 2 bad losses. There it is. All right, now really, I just want to kind of recheck in on Mac Jones. I'm a believer in Mac Jones, folks, but I know the national media at the end of the season were harping on Mac Jones not getting it done and not being good enough. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, folks, this is a rookie we're talking about. Let's keep that in perspective as well. A rookie with no great talent-wise on this Patriots team. And once again, that's the Patriots style. They don't give you the help wide receiver-wise. They didn't even give Tom Brady any help. So the fact that they would give Mac Jones any help, that's really not the case. So we are going to have to see Mac Jones kind of keep progressing and keep playing better, but that's the narrative for next season. I don't know if that's the narrative right now that we need to be putting on Mac Jones, especially rookie year. Now, there are a couple of different things I do want to take a quick look at on how we gauge Mac Jones as a passer. So we do have all of his highlights. I want to see his highlights. I want to see the good throws he's making. Is it all the receiver doing the work, or is it Mac Jones putting it right on the money, in target, putting it in stride, putting it exactly where it needs to be? So we will take a quick look at Mac Jones' full season highlights, but I do kind of want to look at this as well. Mac Jones was selected to the Pro Bowl because I believe some people didn't want to play. So Mac Jones gets the nod, and in the skills competition, Mac Jones was throwing the ball here, and it was a little concerning overall. So we get Mac Jones in some passing competitions here. The first one we're going to watch is the precision passing, and he went against Russell Wilson in the precision passing. So I want to watch how he looks, how Mac Jones looks compared to Russell Wilson, and I know this is just a skills competition. It's not real footage of in-game scenarios, and I get it, but I want to see what is the accuracy, just, no pressure, all this fun activity, all that. Rookie versus, a Super Bowl champion, Russell Wilson. So I want to use this as a little bit of a gauge on it. So let's quickly watch Russell Wilson first, see how a good player, a good quarterback, a good consistent quarterback does, and then we'll watch Mac Jones, and then we'll continue on. But here we go. Russell Wilson, precision passing here. First one. And basically you throw it in kind of, deep, shallow, harder. The harder the throw, the more points it's worth. And this man just bombed a 4-pointer right off the rip. And I want to say the highest is a 5-pointer. So here we go. He's going to attempt the other 4. Bingo, bango. First 2 throws, precision as heck. Goes to the 2 4-pointers at the back corner of the end zone, about 25, 35 yards out. Here he is going over the middle here. They didn't show that throw, but did he make it? Did he hit a 5er? Did the man just hit a 5er after hitting the 2 4s? Let's quickly take a look. They didn't zoom in, so we lost track of the ball here. He's throwing to the 5, and oh my goodness, hitting a 5. Precision over the middle. He's going to another one. That hits a 3-pointer. Another one. That one doesn't hit. He's going back to it, hitting another 3-pointer there. Only missed 1 throw so far. Accurate as heck. Taking the dink down 1-pointers. Hit them both. Bingo, bango. Russell Wilson going back to the 1-pointers. Why not? He hit that one. They're not giving him points for it. I guess you can't hit it twice, so I don't know why he keeps going back to him. They give him credit for that one. I don't know. He's hitting all these ones. This is crazy. I think they skipped out on some points by this man. But here he goes. Just keeps taking the dink and dunk, hitting them. No problem there. I mean, the precision is fantastic. Almost hit a 4-pointer. That one was a little off. And last throw here, one more 4-pointer, and they give it to him. They give it to him. There it is. So, wow. That is a precise passer in Russell Wilson. Great, aggressive, only missed about maybe 3 footballs, 3 throws the entire time, taking the deep balls and being accurate as heck on all of them. So that's Russell Wilson doing it. That's one of the best doing it right here. Now let's check in on Mac Jones. How did he look while doing this? Was he as good? Was he hitting the deep ones? How many times did it take him to hit those deep balls? Because the 2 4s and the 5, Russell Wilson first 3 throws, no problem. So let's watch Mac Jones here. And obviously we're not going to, weigh this too high, but this is going to be a nice gauge. This was at the end of the year. He has time to, he had time to practice in the regular season, in game time scenarios, in practice and all that. This is, the culmination of the season right here. Let's see how he looks. So here we go. Mac Jones, first throw. Let's see how aggressive he goes. So he's going to the 4. Way off. He's going 4 again. Deep. Way off, way right. Going deep again for the 4. Third attempt. Way off. He's going to the 1, the check down. He hits the check down. All right. He's going deep again to the 4. Got his confidence up, and there it is. Okay, so I love that. Got his confidence up. Let's see 1 point hit the check down, and then goes deep, and he hit it right on the money. So there it is. All righty, I love that. Now he's going to the other 4, Mac Jones. Now that he's warmed up a little bit to the right. Going back deep to the number 4 again. A little short that time. Yikes. A check down. Hits the 1 check down. He's going back to the 4. I love that. I love it. Does he hit it again? Just a little to the left. Bounced off the side of it. Going to the 4 again. Missed it wide right this time. Going to the 4 again. Way left this time. The man can't hit it. Dink down again. Hit the dink down. Now geared up. Dink down again. Trying to go deep this time. No, he's going to hit the 4. The runner 4. Hit the runner 4. That was great. And then missed the other running 4. So, Mac Jones, did they not give him credit for that other running 4? I thought that hit. They didn't give him credit for that officially. I don't know if I like that. Can I see this quickly? I don't want to spend too much time on the runner 4. Right here. He doesn't hit this? Let me see this again. That hit. Was it short? The ref called incomplete. Oh, yeah, it was short. Okay, so he does not get credit for that runner 4. So, yeah, Mac Jones really struggled here, folks. Struggling with the precision accuracy. You got to be on the money to get credit for those points. And Mac Jones, only 8 points. Russell Wilson, I think he ended with 29. 29 points, man, oh man. So, okay, and that why was a little concerning to me for Mac Jones. So now that we've got that in mind, let's watch his highlights here and let's watch these good throws, what they deem are his best plays. And this is coming from NFL's YouTube channel, folks. So let's see what his best plays were looking like, what the ball was looking like on his best plays. Was he putting it on the money? Was he avoiding the defenders? Or were just the receivers making spectacular catches all game long? We'll count the dink downs, how aggressive, the yards and all that. So let's see how Mac Jones was looking in his best plays. When he was at his best, what did he look like? So here we go. Alrighty, we're not going to watch this entire video. We'll skip around a little bit, but let's see what we get. So here we go. Mac Jones firing over the middle. Boom, boom. This is wide open, but this is a nice strike, and he fit it right in there. Rocketed the ball right in there before the defender ran into the safety. So that was a great, aggressive, deep shot. Here we go in the red zone. Mac Jones. Nice little dink down, and Jacoby Myers just going back inside. Nice touchdown for the man. Mac Jones going deep again here. This is a nice 15-yard bomb. Pressure in his face, and once again, the accuracy was right there, right in the chest of the receiver, and that was 15 yards down the field. Alrighty. Continuing on, Mac Jones, a nice little floater. Boom! Right on the money. Wheel route by the running back out of the backfield, and Mac Jones puts it right on the money. So I'm loving these kind of 15 yards so far. 15 yards, Mac Jones is on the money. So from 0 to 15 yards, that's where we count big time on Mac Jones. So far, obviously. We'll see if he continues to progress and get better, but let's keep that in check and keep that in mind. Anything more than 15 yards, like those 4-pointers in that skills competition, they were more than 15 yards down the field. Mac Jones was struggling with that. So I think we've got a gauge of 15 yards, real solid, accurate wise. But let's keep going here. Here we go. Second game of the season against the Jets. Once again, a nice little wheel route. This is like 15 yards down the field. Letting the receiver run underneath it. 15, 20 yards right there, and that's bingo bango on the money. I mean, we're seeing nice glimpses. That's a beautiful throw by Mac Jones. All right, here we go. Play action. Nice 15 yards down the field. That's wide open. Puts it on the money in stride to continue to run. We absolutely love that. Week number 3, down big time against the Saints. Mac Jones going deep over the middle of the field. Wide open. Okay. Mac Jones again, falling back, recognizing a one-on-one matchup, recognizing the blitz and the pressure coming right at him, throwing up a little bit of a floater. It didn't look pretty, but it got there. Okay. Mac Jones in the red zone, dinked it down, almost kind of read perfectly by the defense, but did get the ball there just in time. From the 1-yard line, play action, pick and pop. There it is. Mac Jones again here. Nice little back shoulder, 15 yards down the field. Here we go, wide open down the middle of the field. I got to see that big bomb. I got to see a big bomb. This is a beautiful throw right here. Decently wide open, but still a little bit of a tight window to fit it in. Not super tight, but it is still a little bit of a tight window, and he puts it right in stride, right on the money. So there are nice glimpses of Mac Jones being accurate, folks. Boom, there it is against the Cowboys. That was a great throw, 15 yards down the middle of the field. Anything more than 15 yards... Oh, my God, man, oh, man, this was a great throw, too. Holy cow, this one just got there. Enough touch. Wow, that was a good throw. That's a tight-ass window against this really good Cowboys defense, and Mac Jones just put it on it. That's a tight-ass window. That's a beautiful throw for the touchdown. Here we go. Mac Jones again going deep and boom. Yeah, see, this is, I know backpedaling right here and facing a lot of pressure, not being able to step into this throw. But it's a little under right here. You put this one right on the money, he runs for the last 30 yards for the touchdown. So, the deep ball accuracy shorts it a little bit. Here we go, going deep, and boom. Oh man, what another tight window. He was kind of picking apart this Cowboys defense, folks. I mean, man, that's a tight-ass window to fit that ball in, and he did it, folks. We can't deny. I mean, like, I think Mac Jones gets hated on, folks. Like, I'm not saying this man's the best quarterback or even the best rookie quarterback this season. Are we saying he's the best rookie quarterback this season? He's better. I take Mac Jones over Trey Lance. I take Mac Jones over Justin Fields at the current moment, I think. Trevor Lawrence, I take him over. Yeah, am I dare saying Mac Jones is the best? I mean, the rookie quarterbacks weren't that great this season. I'm not saying, like, that's not the biggest accolade to have. Oh, I was the best rookie quarterback this season. But he was kind of getting it done, folks. Kind of really well. What else do we got here? Here we go. Going deep. Here we go. Deep ball. There it is. There it is. Boom. Letting the receiver run underneath it. And once again, the receivers, I mean, these are not big name receivers, folks. So if you give Mac Jones a big time weapon, look at this throw. Look at this bomb. This is a beautiful ball right here. All right, let's go a little bit later in the season. Let's skip a little bit later. Let's skip to maybe the last 3 minutes here. Here we go. Now we're talking about week 17, game 17. One of the second last games of the season here. Comeback route on the left sideline. Very well done. 3rd and 4 right here. Down 14. One-on-one matchup again. Just there it is. Just laying it out in front of the receiver. Go out and get it. The man was diving to catch the ball. Very well done. Boom, another one. Good throw. Getting it behind the defense where only the receiver can go and make a play on the ball. If you want to get too nitpicky on these last 2 throws, maybe a tad overthrown. We were seeing diving catches by the receivers, but at the end of the day, I'd rather they be diving catches than interceptions or potential picks. And there's a 50-50 ball, throwing it high, throwing it up and high. You got to respect that. 30 yards on the field, throwing it where it needs to be. So here we go against the Bills, last season of the game. Last game of the season. Mac Jones on the run. Boom. Look at this one. Getting it over that wall of defenders to the receiver about 3 yards, 5 yards behind him. Boom, boom, boom. I think I'm loving the touch, and this is rookie year. Mac Jones with the run. Yeah. 10 yards on 3rd and 10. Pick that up, baby. Down 27-0 here. Mac Jones. Another little back shoulder throw. That's pretty good. It was a good throw. I mean, nothing special, nothing spectacular. There it is again. All right, a little bit of bad defense by the Bills, but overall, here we go, 4th and goal from the 3-yard line. Mac Jones, back corner end zone. Bingo, bango, wide open, and he puts it on him. Here we go, Mac Jones again, corner of the end zone. Boom, that's a great throw right here. This is the beautiful back corner throw where only the receiver can make a play on the ball. I mean, so I've got believability. I've got faith in Mac Jones, folks. I don't think the media is right on Mac Jones of how bad he is. Yeah, folks, I'm giving it to Mac Jones. I believe in Mac Jones. That's what we're writing here. Here we go. Let's get the writing. Let's let the words flow right from our fingertips. I believe in Mac Jones. I don't believe Jones deserves all the knocks from the national media. Accuracy was very good. Was very good. We won't go great, but we'll say very good. No A1, tier 1 receiver help. And also, let's remember, the man's a rookie. We're writing that down as well, just in case we forget, because sometimes y'all are kind of acting like this man's not his rookie year. Like y'all are acting like this is like his 4th season in. No. This was rookie year, 67% completion percentage. I think we need to respect that a little bit more, folks. Also, let's remember, he's a rookie. And potentially had the best rookie quarterback season. I mean, I don't think that's far-fetched, folks, that Mac Jones played the best of all the rookies this year. So I'm a believer in Mac Jones. Sue me. Are you going to sue me, folks? Because take me to court. I will plead in front of the judge, and I think I could convince the judge I'm right. But yeah, I don't think he should be as knocked. I think he played better than I expected. We gave that man no credit, no faith, no believability heading into this season. So I'm on the Mac Jones trade. We'll see how much Josh McDaniels had impact on Mac Jones. We'll see who kind of fills in for Josh McDaniels' shoes, who went to the Raiders as their head coach, and we'll see if Mac Jones can continue to progress without Josh McDaniels. So I'm a believer in Mac Jones, folks, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I really liked what I saw. Really good accuracy for the most part. And, that was rookie year, and that's what he was doing. Rookie year with no help. I think that man's got a nice, decent future in front of him. So I'm a believer in Mac Jones overall. All right, so now for outlook. I would say outlook for the Patriots. I would say this is positive. I think you've got a quarterback. I think you've got a little bit of a franchise guy. So I'm saying it's a positive outlook. Alrighty, let's finish up these last two here. I want to get these on for the day. So for the Dolphins, once again, I mean, we really can't see anything here. I mean, we can't really take away anything this season because of the Brian Flores and the Stephen Ross, wildness that transpired this season and the offseason and all that. So for the Dolphins, I mean, we really can't take anything away from this season besides one thing, folks. Are you all ready for this? Tua is the most accurate quarterback in the league. Yes, folks. This man's accuracy is next level, okay? And that's the only thing that we can really take away from this season. Is our defense going to be good? I don't know. I don't know how much of it was the players. I believe in our players. We got good players, but I don't know how much of it was the players and how much of it was Brian Flores' genius schemes that he was having all game long. The offense, is it good? We don't know. We don't know how much Brian Flores was holding this offense back. So Brian Flores has, I'm going to say this, Brian Flores and Stephen Ross have blurred what's real and what's fake. So we don't know what's real and what's fake. We're really not going to know until the lawsuit plays out, and even still then, who's lying and who's telling the truth. I mean, everybody's going to make their own opinion. So whatever your outcome is, it's too blurred for us to make an actual assessment here on what the Dolphins were this season, but I just know Tua's accuracy has been fantastic ever since he's got there. That's the one thing that really Brian Flores has no control over. And that's the one thing that we saw consistent literally every game. So Tua's accuracy is the only thing to take away, and Brian Flores and Stephen Ross have blurred what's real and what's fake. So and for the outlook part for this Dolphins team, outlook is positive because we have offensive-minded head coach. That's really it. Positive outlook, offensive head coach. Shout out to Mike McDaniels. The man should be able to get it done. Big believability in that man. All right, and then the last kind of team to go over here is the Jets. And for this Jets team, but let's count the Dolphins' quality wins and losses. We didn't do that. So here we go. Quality wins. They beat the Patriots. They lose to the Bills. They lose to the Raiders in overtime. That's a bad loss. Let's count that. That's a bad loss. Should have beat that Raiders team. So that's one bad loss. They lose to the Colts. They lose to the Bucks. They lose to the Jags. That's a bad loss. Loss to them. They lose to the Falcons. That's a bad loss. They lose to the Bills. They beat the Texans. They beat the Ravens. That was a good win. They beat the Jets. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Giants. They beat the Jets. They beat the Saints at the end of the year, and not that big quality of a win. They lose against the Titans, and then they beat the Patriots last game of the year. So there's really only one quality win here by the Dolphins and 3 bad losses. So let's also write that here. 1 quality win, 3 bad losses. All right. And now for the Jets. All right, for the Jets, Zach Wilson. Let's get up his stats. Once again, I don't know. I feel like Zach Wilson should be getting kind of the Mac Jones treatment, but everybody's big on Zach Wilson, and I don't get that. People are big on Zach Wilson, but not big on Mac Jones, and I don't think I agree with that. Zach Wilson had 55% completion percentage. I mean, we're talking about who did they just have? Their other quarterback that they just got rid of, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is this, dude, 55%, 59%. He's trash. 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I feel like Zach Wilson only had one good game where he had that big bomb to like the Corey Davis like twice in the game. They came back to win. What was that? Was that against? Yeah, it was against the Titans. This was the only game that Zach Wilson played good at, and everybody resorts back to this one game to prove that Zach Wilson's a good quarterback. He had 61% completion percentage, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. That was his best game of the season, folks. The most yards he threw for the entire season was that one game. Look at all these multiple 50% completion games. I mean, after the best game that he's had, we won't even count the 3 losses leading up, the 3 bad performance losses that led up to his best game. But after that Titans game, we get 59%, we get 58%, 45%, 56%, 57%, 35% the final game of the season. Final game of the season, everything coming to a head, and you do 35% completion percentage for 87 yards? I mean, so I don't understand Zach Wilson. I don't believe in Zach Wilson. Let me write that down. We don't believe in Zach Wilson. And Zach Wilson, this is how I'm going to kind of phrase it. Zach Wilson is the true narrative of Mac Jones from the media. Can y'all keep up with that? Does that make sense? Zach Wilson is what the national media makes Mac Jones look like. Yes? Because the media makes Mac Jones not look good. But I think the man is good. Zach Wilson, I don't think the man is good. So, Zach Wilson is what Mac Jones is portrayed as from the national media. So, and I want to write this down as well. I think everybody resorts to the Titans game to prove Zach Wilson is good. And if you're going to go back to like a week 4 game to prove that a rookie quarterback is good, okay, but I don't think that holds any weight. So I'm not buying it. Let's count the quality wins and losses. Also, we have to write this. We have to go back to our official predictions and expectations that we wrote down before the season started. And once again, we counted this season as not a good year for Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh, for a successful season, we wrote down he needed 5 wins and not too many blowout losses. And the blowout losses we counted at 13 or more points. And he got blown out way too many times, and he didn't even have 5 wins. So we counted this season overall for the Jets as a failure. So this was not a good year by, let me get this up. This was not a good year. Not a good year. Not a good year 1 for Robert Saleh. Got to keep that up here too. Keep that remembered for next season when everyone's like, oh no, the Jets were good. It was only, it was rookie year for, Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson, only 4 wins. But no. We took that already into consideration when we wrote down those predictions. There was more winnable games there, and they got blown out way too many times this season. So, bad year, not a good year by the Jets, but let's count their quality wins and losses. Here we go. Let me get it up here. Win, loss. Make sure my handy-dandy notes are all good. Here we go. All right, they lose to the Panthers, and that's always a bad loss. I mean, nobody should be losing to this Panthers team. This Panthers team is not good, folks. All right, they lose to the Patriots. They lose to the Broncos. They beat the Titans. That's a good win. That's a quality win. So one quality win, one quality loss so far. They lose to the Falcons. That's kind of about their level, so that's a bad loss. They lose to the Patriots. They beat the Bengals. That's a good win. We give them credit. They lose to the Colts. They lose to the Bills. They lose to the Dolphins. They beat the Texans. They should beat the Texans. They lose to the Eagles. They lose to the Saints. They lose to the Dolphins. They beat the Jags. They should beat the Jags. They lose to the Bucks, and they lose to the Bills. So, yeah, they got 2 quality wins and 2 bad losses. So you can write this as well. 2 quality wins and 2 bad losses. Here we go. I want to finish on this thought right here. Let me remember the man's name. Let me remember the man's name, folks. Wide receiver, shifty guy, Berrios. Braxton Berrios was the highlight of the season and should be used as primary offense moving forward. I mean, they really should be utilizing him and developing him, maybe like a Deebo Samuels type. So Braxton Berrios had a fantastic end of the season, and now we're kind of hearing that the Jets are shopping them. I don't think that's what you should be doing. So, and then the outlook here to kind of wrap it all up. I would say it's a meh outlook. It really could go either way. That's the outlook. Could go either way. I mean, we saw Sam Darnold be trash year 1, be trash year 2. I mean, we get Zach Wilson. 55% completion percentage for an entire season is so gosh dang bad, even for a rookie, folks. You really should be kind of like, I'll give a rookie a pass for 59%, but you really should be like 60% even for a rookie year 1, and then getting to 62 to 65 year 2, and then 63 to 67 year 3, kind of consistently for the rest of your career. But starting at 55, it's so gosh dang bad, folks. It's what Sam Darnold did, and y'all are still trying to tell me that Sam Darnold is good. How many more teams, how many more coaches does he need to be with to prove that the man is not getting it done? So I don't think Zach Wilson's that great so far. He's got a big arm. Okay, congrats. That's the Tennessee Titans game. The big arm, the big throws. That was it. Didn't replicate that for the rest of the year. So what are we doing? So that's what we've got on the Jets. I'm not believing in Zach Wilson. Robert Saleh's year 1 was not a good year like the Lions with Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell had a good year. He sufficed all of our kind of criteria. So not believing in the Jets, folks. So those are our final thoughts on the AFC East, folks. So whatever happens in the whirlwind of the offseason with all the information coming fast and furious at us, we've got the real deal, what actually happened this season written down so we can always refer back. We'll be continuing on with these with the division every single day and trying to get it done as soon as possible. Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We are back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, to do it all again. And we'll probably do the AFC North, another AFC team. I just go in order by how they are kind of proposed to me on NFL.com's website. So the next division, another AFC division, we'll do that tomorrow. We'll break down the NBA and any other stories and information and news that we need to break down and talk about. We will do that tomorrow, folks. So we're back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, talking sports, folks. If you love sports talk, that's what we do here, folks. We're the only one that truly talks sports. Nobody talks sports. They debate sports. They debate stats. They debate facts. They debate opinions. We just talk sports. We are the one true sports talk show on the net. So if you like sports talk, folks, this is your home. We'll be here tomorrow because we talk every single day, folks, and we go not 2 hours, hour and a half, hour 40. We did an hour 45 today. We talk sports here, and we talk sports every single day. So if you love sports talk and sports talk every single day, we are your guys. So come back tomorrow. We'll be here tomorrow. We'll be here Monday. We'll be here to the end of time. We are not going anywhere. So once again, Aaron Rodgers, you better buckle up because we are not going anywhere. Good night. Make your decision. Have a good one. Aaron Rodgers, we're here. We're watching. We're talking.